Well, g'day tubes, how's she going? Pretty good here. So we got to get the Slingshot out here. I haven't done many videos on the Slingshot. I don't know, a lot of you guys don't seem to like this thing too much, so I haven't really been doing too much with it. But anyways, got to get out and do an oil change on it. It is quite due. I don't think I did it last year at all. We honestly don't drive it too far. I'll let you know how many K when we get in here. I gotta get my helmet here though. Heave. So I gotta get it out, get it warmed up, and get her down to the shed there and get the oil out of it. So down here I've got the battery tender going. And there for now. So yeah, we gotta go for a little tour just around, just to get things warmed up a bit. Like my handcuffs. Wife didn't want to use them anymore, so I put them on here. No, I'm just kidding. That's what these are for. Don't tell her that. She wouldn't like that. Okay, so. All right. Now, see, we've got to check the view here and see what you guys are looking at. Yes, in Canada here, we got to wear a helmet, So, yeah. Let's get her outside here first. So we only have 9,311 kilometers on this thing, so yeah. 5-speed. I don't think you can see me shifting here, but it's down in here. I'm gonna try to keep the view up a little bit for you guys as we go for a little tour here. Got a reverse camera and stuff on it too, so I can watch the kids behind me when I run them over, kind of thing. So this thing isn't tremendously fun to do. I better put the seatbelt on. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the camera stuff. It's not tremendously fun to do an oil change on it, but anyways, we'll do what we can. My seatbelt's really high on your shoulder in this. I don't really like where it sits, but anyways, make sure nobody coming flying out of the gate. Watching for cars. Oh, better wait for him. Oh, he's really ripping along here. Wish the windshield was just a little bit taller for me, because it hits me like I gotta kind of duck down a little bit unless I want to get the wind and stuff like right in my eyes kind of thing. I got glasses on, but if it was like another inch higher, it would probably hit the top of my helmet, which would be all right. But anyways, the 2016 we had, it had a little bit taller windshield, and it just kind of touched the top of my helmet. I could feel it kind of blowing me on the helmet. That was all right, but anyways, make a right here and go down the Hockley Road is what this is. And this is the road, well, the little village. It's further down. James Cameron, the famous movie director there, named the one guy from Titanic. I got my boots on, I can't feel the pedals. He named him Caledon Hockley. Well, Caledon is below me, and Hockley is here, so that guy was kind of cool. Cooled off a little bit here for us too. We've got 20 degrees Celsius right now, which is a bit less than room temperature, so that's kind of nice. We're getting 7.4 liters per 100 kilometers, so that's pretty good. I know you guys go miles per gallon, how many miles you can get out of 1 gallon of fuel, but we do it a little differently here. We do how many liters is burning in 100 kilometers. So it's only using 7.4, so that's basically like a gallon almost, maybe a gallon and 3/4 to you guys in 100 kilometers, so that's not too bad. Fourth gear is your speedy gear on this thing, which I'm still in. Fifth is basically overdrive. Your economy gear. Wind in your face though in this thing, for me especially. Makes it a bit higher on the seat, right? So it's definitely got a pile of wind coming at you all the time. Sometimes you'll get a wind coming like right from the side. Oh god, that's brutal. It's so bad. But anyways, I really don't even need fifth gear along here. This is pretty slow along here. Only supposed to be doing 60. I'm doing like 72. Try to keep the revs up a little bit too, and it might warm up a little faster, you know. So we'll just go up to the next road here, which will take us out to one of the better highways. And now we probably still won't get fifth gear there because it goes to 60 there too. So we're only doing like just over 2,000 RPM. Now let's go to fifth anyways. Now we're doing like 1,500, but it's almost too low for this speed. Feels like it's kind of lugging a bit. Yeah, this thing's a little bit challenging to get under it, especially for me being a bigger framed person, we'll say. But I got to put it up on the my ramps, but I got to put them on backwards. It's kind of weird. I'll show you when we get there. I'll probably switch to the head mount. All right. So this gigantic house here that these people are building here is just gigantically huge. Look at the size of it. I don't know if you can see that building or the house there. It's freaking huge. And the cool thing is they're still not living in it yet. This must be taking forever to get finished. Oh, maybe they are living in it now. There's a car there. Since the last change, it's only had about 3,088 kilometers on it, but that wasn't, that's I guess 2 years ago because I didn't do it last year. So it's only got like 3,000, not even 3,100 on it. It might have 3,100 on it by the time we get home again here, but I mean, that's nothing, but it's still been in the engine, right? That's probably really not good for it, but we'll dump it out. It'll probably be fairly clean, probably still, hopefully. It's not burning any, I know that, so that's good. But yeah, it's a bit of a tight fit. Once I get it up onto the ramps, it's a little tight. I think actually I have to jack up the rear too, if I remember, because it's still so low, I just still can't get under it. Just makes it a little easier. I can't really remember now. I'll have to wait and see till I get back. Little par 3 golf course here on our left. I don't know what you can actually see, but I should have put it to ultra wide mode. I just don't like that on the GoPros here. It doesn't look right. Like real fish-eyed looking. It has the capability of doing, I think it's got like super wide too, and it's like super fish-eyed. All right, we're coming back here to what they call Highway 9. A very busy highway, like all the time. It heads east and west to us. All right, let's see here. You won't probably be able to see, but I got one guy coming here that I can see. The trouble with this thing is too is sometimes the weeds on the side of the road kind of blocks what you can see. Acceleration's pretty awesome on this thing. $69.9 for diesel now. Woo-wee! Oh, for a while there, about a month, it was about 7 or 8 cents cheaper than gas, but no more. I guess that's done. So I better watch my speed here. Mitsubishi Motors, Ford, crappiest dealership ever. Not going to say too much about that. Toyota, they're pretty good. These guys here are amazing, the Toyota dealership, actually. We've had our car in there a couple of times, just, you know, just for something, I can't really remember what now. There was a funny noise or something, and they didn't even charge us anything, and they fixed it, and I'm like, holy crap, that's pretty good. I couldn't believe that they didn't charge us anything. I think we did that a couple of times there. It was pretty good. Alright, I get over here like you should, and then everybody comes flying past probably. One guy there. It is still 60 here. Kind of ticks me off because they come flying by and then cut in front of you to turn into town here. It's like, dude, you could have just gone behind me. Concrete pump truck coming up here on the other lane. I don't know if you can see him or not. Man, we just passed their place actually before we turned on this road. Holy smokes, I don't know how many trucks they got now. They must have about 20 of them, I guess. Most guys started off with one. I remember that way back. And they got 20 trucks now, and I guess they $1,000 an hour maybe. I don't know how much you charge for that. A lot of money in one of those trucks though. Maintenance, keeping it clean. really downshift from gear to gear. That's really hard on clutch and stuff. So I'll downshift from 5th to 4th, you know, and then kind of run it out, and then slow down enough by then that I just, you know, kind of pop it out of gear and coast. It's a lot cheaper to replace brake pads than it is, well, I don't know, maybe not. Replace brake pads than it is to replace clutches, not mess. That's pretty hard on it downshifting. People don't really realize that. It's really hard on the clutch if you don't mesh up the speeds right. And you know, when you're downshifting, that's really hard on things. Okay, let's go. I'm busy. Got things to do. Places to go. People to see. One thing I don't like a whole lot about this is the first gear is such a short, low gear, but second zoned a little bit too high to take off in second. But third gear is your pulling gear. Going and this bloody light changes up here. This is just like truck sim. So I just run 4th right out here until it kind of about there, and I just plop right out of gear and then coast. I don't downshift through all the gears. That's just showing off and gonna wreck things. I say brake pads are a hell of a lot easier to change and a lot cheaper than getting into a clutch. So yeah, this thing has like traction control. If you turn that off, it gets pretty hairy. You can get turbo kits for them, but it's like $8 grand. Kilometers an hour there. We got 3,096. 4 more kilometers we would have had. 3,100. That's okay. So this I will go down to 3rd because I'm going to keep driving here. And just kind of ease a bit of gas on as you let the clutch. You got to kind of know the meshing speeds there, right? Yeah, it's a synchro mesh transmission, but you can still wreck a lot of things if you just kind of slam it in and drop the clutch. You also have to do a bit of gassing work too, right? All right, now go down to 1st. Watch out, little chippy. Oh, don't run in front of me, you dope. Okay, so I don't like putting this up. I wish I had a lift, but this would be a hard thing to lift, I think. Okay, so let that run a minute. Oh, because I gotta back it on these rams. I guess I could get a bit closer too, couldn't I? Let's move this wood out of the way. And take my glasses off so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Holy smokes, this place is a dump. Stuff all over the place. Oh, I remember this project. On off, on off. Yeah, that worked good. Filling those tires. Okay. I think I'm gonna need this jack to the back. Stay there, you're gonna be, oh, you're gonna stay there. Good boy. don't have a name for this car though. I don't normally name things. I just find that's kind of weird. You name a dog. Why would you name a car? Oh, I gotta go take old Betsy to the garage. Why the hell would you do that? Why'd you name a car? I don't understand that. Hey, so I'm just getting these kind of lined up here. And this is the crappy part because that thing will spin as you're trying to drag it up. What I need is a pit. A nice pit to work on. Okay, let's see here. So, here's the thing. And with these little fenders, you gotta be careful, right? That'll do, donkey. Okay. That'll do. Now, if I remember right, I can't get under here too well. Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, I think I'm gonna jack the back up a little bit. Don't have to go up too far. Right on that thing there. Now I can feel the brakes here too. It's pretty warm, so it's working. These brakes are weird. Oh man, when I got to replace them, oh, it's not a normal brake. The rotor here is like special. It's got like little things to undo these bolts, and they'll probably all break. Not looking forward to that, but. Okay, I don't want to go up too high there because this technically could roll off of here. A little slapper, and it is in gear, it's in reverse, so that should be. Oh no, that won't matter because we got it up in the air now. Okay, so what do we got? We need something that will work. Maybe. In case it does kind of roll off. It'll probably roll right over that thing anyways, but maybe that'll slow it down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch to my head mount, I guess, and get under here and see if we can get a shot for you. Okay, I don't know what kind of shot this is gonna get yous. Once we get under here, we shall see. Oh, I'm too old for this crap. I gotta get way back there apparently. And I can't remember now what size it is. Oh man, I gotta get a long way yet. I'm not really too crazy how this thing's been rusting, we'll say. Like this tube frame is rusting really bad compared to the other one we had. I think it's right there. I've got an LED light kit I want to put on here, but man, this thing's rusting like crazy. You know, we've never had it out in the crap, which is weird. It could be the container, I guess. Let's try a 14. Oh. 15? Okay. And then we gotta fight the stupid oil filter, and it's, oh geez, it was probably great when it was in the Chevy Cobalt engines. This is an Ecotech engine in this thing, and I'm willing to bet that it's a lot easier to get the filter out of those things than it was for these things. And that feels, oh yeah, that's pretty warmed up. Yeah, it's not that bad. We'll look at it closer when we get her out here, but it's definitely warmed up. That's good. And I guess this won't hurt. Yeah, I've got an LED strip light kit for this thing that goes with the headlight things, but I don't think I'm gonna even put it on now. It's too bad because it was expensive too. But anywho, I'll let that drain out. I will come up here and start working on the oil filter. I'm gonna probably need, what am I gonna need for that? I don't think I need those tools. Ugh. I'm getting tooled for this, boys. Too old for this crap. Isn't that cool how that opens up? Okay, I gotta grab a towel quickly here. Actually, I probably don't need these on now. That's the worst part of it there. I need a couple of towels. And this box of tricks here, I think. Yeah, the biggest one in here, I think it was. Crow's foot wrench is about the only way you can get this thing out. And it kind of sucks. It's kind of buried. And that's why I don't do it too often. So I'm gonna need a half. Can't remember how I did this now. This thing is buried way down in here. I guess you can see that. Can you see that way down in here? So I need a ½ inch and an extension. And I gotta go a little bit and then do it and rearrange it and go a little bit and do it and rearrange it. That's right. Running out of space. Running out of space here. Oh, okay, you just come right off. So, not a ½ inch, it's a 3/8, I believe. Oh, it is a ½ inch. My bad. My bad. I don't know if this extension is going to be long enough. Oh, I don't like doing this. This really sucks. Like I say, it was probably better on the Ecotech on the Chevy Cobalts. Although, there might be dashing crap here. There we go. Boy, I remember the first time I did that. Didn't have that crow's foot wrench tool and that thing sucked getting that out. That was frickin' terrible. I grabbed towels, didn't I? I'm positive. Where's my towel there? Okay, you stay there, you dink. Okay. So, way up here. Somebody needs less junk in their shed. Oh crap, I guess we'll use that one and I'll keep this one for next time, and then I can get a number and just use the CarQuest ones. Because they're pretty much all the same. Ooh, that comes with a new Dewey. I didn't realize that. I don't think I'm going to use the new Dewey though, but I might use this new Oh my goodness. Is this the receipt? I think it probably was. Can't read that now. Okay. I'll keep that cap for a spare in case something happens to that one. They might go brittle. Yeah, they might potentially go brittle. You never know, right? Okay. We'll just let that drain there a minute. Need more towels. Left it in here. And I've got the oil here. I can't remember now how much I need. $5W30. Advanced full synthetic. Fake oil. Now I'll have to look up how much it was we need for that, because I just don't really remember now. Okay, we need a little screwdriver here. Peel off this guy. Good. And that guy just went in like that. Good. Sounds like it's still dribbling there. Well, we'll get this guy mounted back in, I guess. Our Toyota's like that too. You gotta take the stupid cap off and put the... I don't like it. I don't like it much. But yeah, the first time I did this, I think I used a crescent wrench. Man, that was a lot of work. Now this gets her done a little faster. And if you got one of these things like this, like this type of filter, just tighten it like that. That's it. You don't got to crank the crap out of it. It's got a seal in there. That's what that O-ring's for. Don't crank the crap out of it. So all you're gonna do is rip the thing off and damage that thing, and then it should be junk. Okay, that should be all we need this kit for. You go first, and then you go after. Okay, that's good. This isn't too bad changing this oil. I guess we don't put many kilometers on it, so I don't really bother with it, you know, so it's probably not a good thing, but Princess Auto, and that was the heck size was that? 32 millimeter, the biggest one there. This goes all the way down to 10. Pretty cool. I've never used any of the other ones. I got the whole kit. It was cheaper to get the whole kit than just the one piece. You know how things work, right? Makes no sense, but that's the only thing I use this kit for, is that. All right. That's good there. That guy will just keep for parts. I can get back up here again. Let's put it there maybe. Okay, I gotta look up and see how much of this we gotta put in, because I can't remember. It sounds like it needs to... Still dribbling out there a bit, so we'll leave her for a minute. Yeah. Other than that, I might give these little latches a little spray, because I noticed the last time the front ones, there's 4 of them, 4 of the hood latches on there, it just wasn't closing nice. One there. And that guy there. Yeah, that's that one there, okay. And the same on this side. And up here. Might help a bit. See my nice header we put on there? That was a big job. You can't just in. I had to take this. What did we have to do? We had to take this whole side plate panel out. Of course, the exhaust muffler thing's here, the stock one. Take it out too. It has to come out here, out this, through the plastic here. So I have to take all that off. And then you had to worm this thing up through, bang, on. I have no idea how that worked, but it did. But yeah, you can see all the rust spots coming here. It's like they didn't treat it too well, you know, after it was welded together. I think they were starting to really bang them out and rushing them out, you know, and just, it's not good. Not good. I wasn't happy with that. But anyways, probably should spray those cables too. Get more on the car than you do on the cable, but this is good anti-rust stuff too. It's nice. All right, that's where we gotta fill them after, up here. And this all went, aluminum went all kind of powdery on me, like, oh man. Anyways, I gotta look this up to see how much it takes. I just can't really remember. Okay, 4.25 liters, so this is 5 US quarts or 4.73 liters, so not quite this whole thing. I guess we'll crawl in here and see how, I'll take a towel with me maybe. See how this is doing. Hopefully you guys are able to see kind of what was happening under here. I'm getting too old for this crap. It's still dribbling a little bit, but that's probably all right now. Wow, this is the only bar I think that hasn't. Oh, yes, it has. A little bit. Oh, I kind of worry about these tube frames rusting out too, but at least they put drain holes, a couple of drain holes, one hopefully on each tube, not on that one though. There's one here, drain holes. Boy, and there's a lot of tubes there, mind you, but I don't know how thick they are. Probably not very thick. All right, we'll put a plug in. Even the pan's all going powdery. Why does aluminum do that? I need to figure that out. Oh, going the right way, yeah. That should be good. Okay, let's pack this tool kit up here and see if I can get myself out of here. $15. Get back in there. And this little hinge on this guy broke a couple years ago now. Opened and closed too many times. Too much crap to fix. Alright, we'll see how dirty this stuff was. Oh, it's dirtier than I think. Okay. I'll try to drag it out as I come out. Slow down. Oh yeah, it's pretty dirty. It's a lot dirtier than I thought it was. For only 3,000 kilometers on it, that's pretty dirty. I don't know if I like that or not, but anyways, what can I do about it? All right, I guess do I need? I think we've got one. Good use for your old water jugs right there. And then we take that and do a volley into the lake with that after. It's awesome. You know how much water even that pan or one of these are like 15 liters. How much water that would contaminate? Wow, I think one drop will contaminate like a square kilometer or something. I don't think it maybe goes that far, but I know it's a fair bit of water. You know, that's, what do you call it on the top? Yeah, this stuff's pretty dirty. Well, it's good to change it, I suppose. It is dirty, but then it's not dirty. It's like a, whoa, like a clean dirty. Yeah, it's pretty dirty. Oh, geez, now it's on there. Pretty runny too, actually. Go 5W30. All right, we'll just let those kind of fester there for a bit. That wood'll never rust, so I'm telling you. Okay, can probably put all my junk back in. All my junk I travel with everywhere. Keys and money things. And put this guy back in. That's good. Everything. There's the chest mount for that guy. Okay, so 4.25. I don't know whether I should measure that or not. It's got little dewies here, but I presume that's 1, 2, 3, 4 liters. And then not quite one, so we should be, why do they have to make it? I mean, I love you guys and everything down in the States, your US courts and stuff, but you make it hard for us. Because now we've got 4.73, and it's evenly made out to 5.5 US quarts. Well, that messes me up because I need 4.25 or whatever, but I think I'll just start adding some. Ooh, am I gonna need a filter, or not a filter, a funnel? I don't know about that. And this one's probably all dirty now. Clean, dirty, clean oil, you know what I mean? That's just like the kid dropping his lunch something or other in 5-second rule. There's a 4-minute rule. This actually might suck trying to fill this up with this because I don't think there's anything really for this to go on. So, okay, that's gonna suck. There's like a baffle in there. That looks like it spreads it out. Oh, listen. Oh, well, you guys can probably hear his cars. Let's see if I can hear it again. Off in the distance, I thought I heard shotgun blasts. Okay, how the heck am I gonna do this? I think I do hear shotgun blasts. That's the whoa, geez, that come out faster than I wanted it to. That's the Hunters and Anglers Club story up there. That's probably shooting stuff. So we still got about 2 liters, so we probably need a little more yet. I also got to refill that filter too, right? Let's just try her there. Let's try her there and see what it's telling us. That was good clean oil, wasn't it? All right, probably should let that settle in a minute. Ecotech, variable valve timing. Plastic, oh God's sakes, eh? Let's see here, she's dry. Not really seen anything there yet. So we can put a little more in. Just don't want to get her over full. What are we at in there now? Probably about 1.5 liters, maybe. Yeah, so we gotta be getting close. If I remember this right, I think this thing kind of shows empty and all of a sudden, yeah, we're good. It's got lots all of a sudden. Boy, it's still not showing anything on there. Well, it's just a little bit more. You want it to be a little bit fuller, because then this technically really doesn't fill the filter, if you know what I mean. It doesn't really do that, because as you seen when we took that out, it kind of drains down. So we got about 1 liter left. So let's see now. We're dry. Just starting to come up, so maybe we'll leave that a minute, because yeah, I mean, this would take a little bit in the filter, but mostly it would be drained back. Like, this doesn't have a, you know, canister underneath kind of thing. So yeah, it's funny enough that air filter doesn't look too bad yet. That's kind of surprising, because man, we were for a ride there about a month ago, and these 2 guys were driving these gigantic tractors, like huge tractors, and man, I thought, oh man, this thing's gonna be just covered in crap. So yeah, we're just starting to come up into those cross marks now, so we'll just add a touch more. Not a very good spot to fill this thing, really. All right, so now what are we down to? We are down we got about, not quite, a little more than 3/4 of a liter left there. That oil shouldn't take too long to get down there either, because it's pretty light stuff. Coming up about half there now. I think what I'm going to do is start it up and let it run a minute. If I can get in here. Oh, goodness sakes. Ooh, should probably put that cap back on. I don't think it'll splash anything up and out of there, but with my luck it would. All over me and the whole car. All right, so reset trip 2, and somewhere in here Yes. There. All right, we let her sit now for a few minutes. Hi, sweet pie. What are you doing? Where were you? Good girl. What are you up to? Just looking. Aw. You're eating grass, you little horse, aren't you? And tummy not feeling well? Hi, babes. Give me your tail. Arr. Give me that tail, you. Where you going? Goofball. All right, I'll give this a little check here now. And I think my towel blew down here. Well, we'll see where we're sitting. It's sitting fairly level here too, but holy smokes, that needs more yet. I hardly believe that. It's like not even registering yet. I put that whole thing almost in. I bet you we will put this whole thing in. Where'd you go, babes?
All right, come on, let's go. What's on your cake?
Try that amount. I bet it's gonna be the whole thing. They lied to me. It needs more. I wouldn't think that would take too long to get down there. What is going on here? I'm still like down here. I think we're gonna end up putting this whole thing in. Ugh, stinky stuff. Smells like plastic. It's definitely more than what the book says. That's almost that whole jug. 4.73 liter. I think it was 4.24 liter or something, if I remember right. Getting sticks. Good girl. Well, it's pretty warm. It's coil packs. Oh, about halfway. Man, what the heck? I guess maybe I'll put the whole thing in, and that's pretty much the whole thing. They fibbed. Now, if that'll stand there, and yeah, right. I'll have to hold this for an hour until it all drains in here. Oh man, at least it's not 1540. It would be standing here for like 2 hours, letting it drain in. Yeah, there's some of that dirt. Oh man. And these things don't have a very good, where the heck was it now? Very good brakes on it. I'm trying to think. Where the heck was that now? It's got a hydraulic clutch though, which is kind of cool. Am I looking in the wrong spot? I don't know. The brake plate that everything mounts to, yeah, this plate here is not strong enough, and when you slam on the brakes, it actually flexes this plate and moves it. So I've got this little red thing here that mounts into the car that pushes pressure on the master here to hold tension onto it. It makes the brakes a lot better. It's not awful. You guys can't even make the brakes good? Like, what the heck? 2019 was terrible. It actually had a recall for that too. It had a recall for that. I guess that's gonna have to be enough oil. That's all I got. And I guess you could sit here and, you know what? I'm just gonna try some. Probably scratch the hell out of it, but I just wanna try something here. I'm gonna have to hurry up though, because I think I'm running out of battery. So this is a 600 grit. Maybe I'll just sand it down a little bit first and make it not so rough. I just wonder what happens if I sand at that. It needs to be cleaned first, I think, because I'm rubbing stuff off. Oh, that's not going to help. Yeah, it's almost too fine, but I think if you went at it for a while, you could clean this up nice looking again, but you know what? I'm not going to do that, I don't think. It didn't scratch it too bad, actually. It's pretty good. All right, let's check her once more here, and that's where she's going to have to stay, I guess. Yeah, it's about half. Maybe it'll come up more when I run it. Interesting, they fibbed to me. They fibbed. All right, well, I guess we'll slam this back down, and you actually have to slam this, believe it or not. I wonder if that's what's going on. These lights on the front screwed up. And these things are just being a pain in the rear end now. You actually have to slam this thing. They say when it starts to go, just let it go. I don't think that latched on the front. Nope. I don't know why it's having problems. Then this thing sits here and flops up and down. Well, it might have it this time. Not this side though. Have to work on that. All right, well, we can get her down, I guess. But this jack down here, there's no real grease points on it. There's a point on the little drive shaft under there, but I don't have a way to get to it. I have no idea how they do it at the dealership, because my your normal oh, better take that off. Your normal grease fitting adapter, nipple adapter thing, just won't fit in there. I even got a needle one, won't fit in there. Can't get it in. So I don't know what they do. They probably don't. Okay. That'll do, donkey. What movie's that from? You guys remember that movie? That was a good movie. I was a bit older when that came out, but I still watched it with my kids though. Alright, there we go. Maybe I'll go for a little tour with my wife now. She wants to go out. All right, there we go. That's really weird that yeah, 4.25 liters, and we put in 4.73, so quite a bit more. We put in that whole jug. Oh well. She should be good now, I'm hoping. And yeah, so I'll let that drain in there maybe for a bit. Get rid of the jug then. All right, but that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. It wasn't too bad, we survived. And it's not bad, it's just, you know, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Good, okay. Garbage, garbage, not garbage. Let's go back under here. That's garbage. All right, thanks again for watching. Catch you all later, and you guys have a good one. All slinged up.